SaaS still growing, or are we heading for a slowdown? There's a lot of noise out there about market corrections, recessions, and SaaS companies struggling to turn a profit. But let me tell you, while some may be waving the white flag, the real story is much bigger. SaaS is not just surviving, it's evolving and it's thriving in a new, exciting way. Today we're going to break down some big points about trends that are shaping the future of SaaS and why this might be the best time to dive into software as a service. So let's dive into this today. All right, so welcome to Starter Pack. I'm Spencer Thomason, and here at Starter Pack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding boot camps and build custom software solutions for companies. I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology teams and products. So we're going to dive right into some big takeaways when it comes to the growth of SaaS in 2024. And the question is on everyone's mind: is SaaS still growing, or have we hit a wall? Now, spoiler alert, it's still growing, and I've got some numbers to show you on some reports today. So everyone keeps talking about the market downturns and recession, and here's the truth: SaaS is still growing and growing fast. According to recent reports from SaaStr and SaaS Market, the SaaS market is projected to continue expanding at a compound annual growth rate of 18.7%. Despite economic fluctuation, SaaS companies are continuing to raise capital, scale, and acquire customers. The demand for cloud-based services isn't slowing down, it's just evolving. So businesses need SaaS solutions to streamline operations, reduce overhead, and stay competitive. So the bottom line is, if you're in SaaS, the future is bright. So one of the key growth areas for SaaS is the rise of industry-specific solutions. So what this means is, if you're narrowly targeting a specific SaaS niche, this is a great time and a great place to be in. So while we're seeing more SaaS companies targeting verticals like healthcare, construction, and finance with highly specialized platforms, this shift makes total sense. Businesses need tailored solutions that cater to their specific workflows, and SaaS companies are stepping in to meet that demand. This opens up huge opportunities for developers and entrepreneurs who are ready to niche down and solve unique problems within specific industries. Now, let's get real for a second. Not everything in SaaS is sunshine and rainbows. While the market is growing, profitability remains a challenge for many startups right now. According to Seeking Alpha, SaaS startups are struggling with high customer acquisition costs, and it's taking longer for many to break even. Investors are getting more cautious, and the days of throwing money at any SaaS idea are over. But here's the thing: the good news is, for the solid players, the market is maturing, and for those who balance growth with profitability, they're going to win. Now, as SaaS continues to grow, so also will the need for the developers to build these SaaS platforms. And what we are also seeing is a lot of corporations who are trying to drive their own SaaS solutions. So one of the biggest drivers of SaaS growth is AI and automation. SaaS platforms are getting smarter, and AI is no longer just a buzzword. It's becoming a core feature in many applications. I've talked about this on previous videos. I just went into this in detail yesterday. Rather than just trying to make AI everything, companies are getting smart, and they're taking AI and trying to fit it right into their niche for their market. And as they get into these specialized AI models, it's actually a really great idea. That's where we're going to see AI be successful. So whether it's automating customer service, improving data analytics, or enhancing user personalization, AI is transforming SaaS into a must-have for businesses looking to scale efficiently. And if your company's systems aren't connected, reach out to us here at Starter Pack. We love to help companies build custom software solutions, especially for disconnected systems. Our specialty is connecting systems to help your company work like a well-oiled machine. So hit us up at starterpack.com/Spencer and we can help out. Now, I want to dive into some of this report because I found a really good report that compiles a lot of this data. So let me switch over to my screen here. So there's probably no downturn in SaaS. It's time to stop waiting for it to end. So over the past 24 months, he says it's been an odd time for SaaS and cloud, right? But here's really one of the big takeaways that he was really pointing to. Non-tech case uses of SaaS are really strong. AI is strong with SaaS, and security plus compliance. This is a big one. So I've done security a handful of times over the last 5 years. And the last 2 times I did it using a SaaS platform, and it was dramatically easier. So this is a great example of where you're going to see a very niche SaaS platform. The SaaS platform is like for one use case. It's for driving security in your enterprise, and they're very effective, and they reduce the time. My estimate is you reduce the time by about 50% to run through a security audit. Now, here's the thing at a macro level. There's no big downturn. SaaS and cloud spending are still up a massive 20% in 2024. Folks tapping into the trends where spending is up are on the tear. Wiz, Databricks, they're all growing at an unprecedented rate. AI spending is robbing budget from other departments, but for certain reasons. CIOs and others are looking for efficiency in AI, not more generic workflow tools. Everybody doesn't want just a bot. They want something very specific, right? So you can see that the second one here, is second place for worldwide public cloud services is for SaaS services. So we're seeing this at the second highest growth rate, right? So Gartner says SaaS spending is actually accelerating and will hit $300 billion in 2025. So it's hard to get a sense of just what is happening with SaaS. B2B2B remains in a big funk with the sales force projecting a decline. And I think this may have to do with, there's some interesting pieces there, but as those niche, so Salesforce is definitely a definition of not niche, right? That's very broad. Whereas when we talk about these B2B2B, that's a very specific niche, like I just talked about with like doing a security audit, right? So SaaS platforms being built around everything. So it's just time. It's time to adjust the new world that we're in. Things change every 4 to 5 years in tech, including buying patterns. So the dollars are still there for SaaS spending. They're just being spent differently. It's time to niche down and focus on those SaaS. And so that's kind of what I took away from this model, which is just one of the many things that I was reading over as I was doing my research here. So, we're seeing that there is, as with every market, in every 4 to 5 years, there is going to be changes, right? So subscription models still reign supreme. We're going to talk about this now. One-time software purchases are a thing of the past. You really can't even hardly find them anymore. And businesses love the predictability and scalability that comes with a subscription-based model. Recurring revenue is the lifeblood of SaaS companies, allowing them to invest in continuous improvement and customer success. But it's not just about locking in monthly fees. It's about delivering ongoing value. So if you're in SaaS, remember your job doesn't end with the sale. It starts there. Now, this is part of the other reason we've been seeing the shift with software developers, because unless you're the ones building the SaaS, a lot of companies are opting to buy SaaS and pay that monthly SaaS fee for technology that they need versus hiring in-house developers to come in and develop in-house. So it's a shift of where these jobs are going. Now, speaking of ongoing value, customer success is no longer a support function, it's a growth driver. SaaS companies are investing heavily in customer success teams to ensure that users get the most out of their software. Why? Because retention is the name of the game. Whether you're talking about YouTube videos or whether you're talking about SaaS software, retention is the name of the game. Acquiring new customers is expensive, but retaining existing ones and expanding their account is pure profit. This is why customer success is becoming just as important as sales and marketing in the SaaS world. All right, let's hit another one of these reports that I was looking at. So this one is actually by Custify. And so the SaaS market shows no signs of stopping or even slowing down. In fact, it's been exponentially growing and expanding. The proof is in the numbers. The SaaS market could reach $908 billion by 2030 as compound annual growth rates of 18.7%. So you can see here we saw 104 billion, 116 billion, and this was projected to be, continue to grow in that rate, right? So that would mean that by 2030, we're seeing almost $1 trillion in SaaS, which is crazy, right? Like that's a huge number. Now, SaaS expenditures will increase by 17.7% amounting to the total of 232 billion in 2024. And the revenue in the SaaS segment will hit 344 billion by 2027. And so they're predicting that it'll slow down just slightly, but I think that's as we're going to see the niche down, right? I think we're seeing this as we see that niche down effect, right? So as we niche down, we're going to see more and more, we're going to see a little bit of tightening in SaaS, but that's still a pretty great growth rate. If you were talking about in any other industry, those growth rates would be phenomenal. Now, hybrid SaaS models are another growing trend, and I've seen a lot of this too. In traditional SaaS, everything is hosted in the cloud, but more companies are experimenting with hybrid models where part of the software is hosted on premises while the rest is in the cloud. This allows businesses more control over sensitive data while still enjoying the benefits of SaaS scalability. For industries like finance, healthcare, and government, this hybrid approach offers the best of both worlds, security and scalability. The other part of this hybrid model that I'm seeing a lot of is former services company are now wrapping their services into a SaaS model. So even if you're a services-based company, don't think, well, we're just services, we'll never have SaaS. It's totally not true. You should absolutely work to build out, hello Marquise, to build out SaaS to build out SaaS in your org, right? This is a huge opportunity to continue to build out your own technology and your own IP, and it will actually help enable your services to be better. And that's something that I'm seeing a growing trend in as we help companies build SaaS platforms for themselves. So SaaS isn't just a US-centric phenomenon. The global SaaS market is booming with significant growth in all areas of all over the world. As internet access and cloud infrastructure improves globally, more businesses in emerging markets are adopting SaaS solutions. This global expansion is creating new opportunities for SaaS companies into previously underserved markets. So the world is getting smaller and SaaS is becoming more critical for businesses worldwide. Now, let's talk about the developers for a second. I talked about this a minute ago, but let's dive into this a little more. Because SaaS wouldn't exist without developers, developers are the heart of the revolution, creating the tools and systems that businesses rely on. So with the growing demand for customization and integration, companies need developers who can build, maintain, and scale SaaS platforms. So if you're a developer looking for a high growth career path, SaaS is still where a lot of the action is. And if you've got the skills to integrate AI and automation into your SaaS offerings, you're going to be in even higher demand. And again, you're not seeing a lot of companies build these for themselves. They're wanting to really build this out. And so you're seeing a move from these in-house developers to now where we're seeing these developers move to SaaS companies. So as I mentioned earlier, profitability is still tightening up for SaaS, but it isn't necessarily a bad thing. The SaaS gold rush might be a little bit over, where profitability margins were in the 50s and 60%, but the solid players are still emerging strong. We're going to see more consolidation in the market with larger companies acquiring smaller, less profitable companies. Companies that focus on delivering value and retaining customers are going to thrive, while those who rely too heavily on hype will struggle. You can hype for a second, but that hype will die and it will come back to bite you. Now, with more businesses moving to the cloud, data security and privacy are becoming massive concerns. And this is also where SaaS really starts to run, because SaaS companies can build an airtight security protocol and comply with regulations like GDPR and CCPA and a lot of these other security protocols, whereas your on-prem software is going to struggle. So as customers become more aware of how their data is handled, they'll choose SaaS providers they can trust. For developers, this means building security into your software from the ground up. It's not just an afterthought anymore. So with the future of SaaS, what's next? Well, we're going to see even more integration with AI, automation, and data analytics. That's really where everything's got to come to. Data, data, data. SaaS platforms are going to get smarter and more customized and even more embedded into the everyday operations of businesses. The subscription model will continue to dominate, but we expect to see more flexible pricing structures that cater to different types of users. Again, we're niching down. The SaaS market is far from slowing down, it's evolving. If you're a developer, entrepreneur, or business looking to get into SaaS, now's a great time. And if you need some help, make sure you hit us up here at Startup Hack, because we're building some great SaaS platforms for a lot of different companies. So what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm off on my predictions with the SaaS? What have you seen with SaaS? I'd love to hear of your opinion. I love having great discussions. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding bootcamp and to build custom software solutions for companies. So reach out if your company isn't working well and you have disconnected systems. Let us help to work to connect those systems for you, and we can help you run like a well-oiled machine. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer or hit the links down below. And as always, make sure you leave a comment to say hi. Thanks, Marquise, for saying hi here. And we will catch you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.